I used to think that my worth was tied to my six-figure salary. But then I realized that if the high-end lifestyle costs you your soul, then baby, it is a bad deal. I had to audit my life, and today I am sharing how I did that and how I adjusted my finances to go from panic to peace. Let's get into it. When you lose a job, the first thing you think about is, where am I gonna get money from? You think about all the expenses that you have, all the things that you have to maintain and upkeep, and just your personal well-being. How are you gonna eat? How are you gonna pay for things? How are you gonna go outside? Everything costs money. And after leaving this job, I absolutely had all of the thoughts. What I realized though was a lot of my finances, a lot of my expenses were ways that I medicated burnout. I essentially was so overwhelmed with the work that I was doing that I was spending money on things that I honestly didn't need once the job ended. Of course, moving to Thailand helped a lot, but I was able to cut down on so many unnecessary things, so many things that were tied to stress reducing and nervous system regulation, that moving to a different country that afforded me peace, I didn't need the expense. And when you step outside of your norm, right, your work norm, and you have to pivot to something differently, you have to do a peace audit. You have to look at the things that you really need, the things that bring you peace, and the things that you needed to medicate yourself before you burnt out. And this is an honest reflection that you really have to sit through. Now, I know my case is completely different because, again, I moved to Thailand and I was able to save a lot of money doing that. But I did have to evaluate what I was going to hold on to while I was over here and what I no longer needed. I was able to consolidate a lot of my debts and pay off a lot of bills with some of the savings that I had. Getting credit card debt paid off was like the first thing. We were able to sell our house and sell our car, and that helped a lot. And of course, we invested some of this money so that it could grow in interest and accrue interest when we didn't need it. So when we do need it, we'll have more than we put in. But outside of the regular finance things, we cut back on just the amount of spending that we did in the US by moving to Thailand. Like, the food over here costs considerably less because it's less preservatives and it doesn't go through a lot of the processes, and it's not like from some big conglomerates that are overcharging us. And so we're able to find $3, $5, $7 meals that would cost us $20, $30, $40 in the US. And that has helped us to maintain our budget. But every month we go through this line item of a budget and review the things that we've done and the things that we need to do for next month and see if we're still on track and on trend. And again, just pausing after losing this job allowed us to be able to evaluate honestly and look at what we didn't need. For example, we shopped a lot in the US. We purchased a lot of clothes. We went different places, but we also had to just keep up going to work. Whereas in Thailand, we don't shop at all. We barely buy new clothes. We have no need to be dressed up to continue to go places. I mean, we have our stuff from the US and we buy a little bit here and there, but the clothing expense was literally almost gone moving here because we have more than enough. That was one of the things that we realized, is that we have more than enough. So all the buying bags and shoes, I swapped those out, and we decided that we were gonna put it towards things like the chiropractor and our massages that we enjoy getting on a consistent basis. Looking at all of the things that we did, cutting out the things that were medicating the burnout and focusing on the things that brought us peace, we recognized that all we needed was a food budget, a travel budget, and a health budget. And as long as we got those three priorities together, everything else falls into place. Now, I will say, one of the things that we had in the US that we still decided to keep in Thailand is a housekeeper. We like our house to be cleaned. We do. We did that back in the US, and we do it here for a fraction of the cost, for sure. But it was something that brought us a peace of mind, knowing that we didn't have to upkeep and continuously clean our house all the time. We have a housekeeper come every 2 weeks here, and we had somebody come monthly back home. And that is just one of those things that we won't budge on because we know how much peace it brings us. So if you are in a situation, if you're in transition, just look at the things that you're paying for. And I won't say to make a want versus need list, because sometimes the lines are blurred. But if you do have a want list and a need list, look at the things that are truly bringing you a sense of peace. Not the things that are helping you to forget or to numb yourself, but the things that bring you some sense of calm and grounding. And prioritize those with the necessities and look at what it is that you don't need anymore, what it is that you may want to do but isn't necessarily bringing you a peace of mind, and just get rid of those things. It will alleviate so much resource for you to allocate your money differently. At least it did for us. When you are out of a job, when you are even out of a relationship, you have to find a way to fund the transition. And everybody's situation is very different. For me, funding the downshift looked like being realistic about what our income was gonna look like. We had to be really realistic about what we could do. So where we were once traveling 2 months, every 2-3 months, this year it looked like we are only taking 2 trips instead of 4. Like, just being realistic with ourselves, not taking away from what we enjoy doing, the things that really bring us peace, like traveling, but making sure that our downshift also contributed to our peace and funded the transition. As I am on this journey to making consistent income, I'm finding ways to maintain the downshift and not spiral. And going from financial panic to financial peace requires vulnerability. It requires honesty, and it requires you to be discerning. A lot of us were not taught great money habits. We're not taught great finance habits. And sometimes we don't have the mindset or the mentality to maintain great financial habits. But in these transition seasons is where you're really asked to look at the gaps in the knowledge that you have versus the knowledge that you need. And if you find yourself in a space where you can't manage your finances by yourself and you don't know exactly what it is to do, there are tons of resources out there. I do know people who look for resources in books and in mentors and even in podcasts as ways to fill in the gaps for what you don't know. But if you're not honest with yourself about your situation, then you're never gonna get better at it, and you're never gonna maintain it, and you won't find the financial peace. You will continue to panic. So if you have a nice size cushion of savings and you have a little bit of money put to the side for a rainy day, and you're looking at it every day as you're paying these bills off and it's dwindling, I want to encourage you to not sink into the survival mode, the scarcity mindset, the financial panic of it all. Because money is a tool. Money is an energetic resource. It's an exchange. And I know it's easy to sit on this camera and be like, oh, you can attract money, but it is very true that you can attract abundance to you, but you can't do it from a place of struggle. You can't attract anything from a place of scarcity. It is going to be the opposite of what you want. Just repeat this affirmation when you feel the anxiety or the toll of your financial downshift making an impact on you. Say to yourself, I am abundant and I attract abundance in all ways. I am abundant and I attract abundance in all ways. I am abundant and I attract abundance in all ways. You have to have conviction in it. You have to say it like you truly believe it and continue to say it until you do. So I want to encourage you through my testimony, through the situation that I'm experiencing now, to sit in the downshift, to do a peace audit and review your finances, and to be honest and vulnerable and ask for help when you don't have all of the knowledge to support yourself. Because ain't no shame in saying that you ain't got it and that you need something. And if you are looking for a community to do that in a safe space to be in where you can share where you are in your transition season, My coaching container, Pause, Shift, Pivot, is opening on March 7th. And I'm welcoming people in their transition seasons to come and to be open and honest and share what it is that they need support with, but also to learn tools to help them through the shift, to help you pause in it and reflect where it is that you feel like you want to go next before you rush there, before you panic yourself there, and before you scarcity mindset yourself there. Let's sit together and figure it out in a safe space, in community, over a 4-week live container series. And let's come out of it with a renewed perspective, not just on our finances, but abundance in general. If you feel called to join the Pause, Shift, Pivot container, it is open now and it starts on March 7th. It's day 30. Y'all, I'm committed to sharing my perspectives and sharing more of my stories with you. So I hope this episode helps you and reminds you that you are not alone here. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 31. Peace.